dispelling the stigma of wearing muzzles, hopefully we'll get through them all, is of course where, when, and why to muzzle. So that's the basics. And also going through muzzle training. So how many of you here are trainers? Yes. Okay, good. So we're going to talk about training, working through trouble spots, and really getting into the nuances of muzzle training so that dogs, they don't just tolerate wearing muzzles, but they start to really love it when they have their muzzle on, and they can live great, fulfilling lives while wearing the muzzle. So we'll get to that today. We'll get through some equipment and muzzle modifications and how to fit dogs for muzzles and the different styles out there. And then this afternoon we'll talk about counseling owners and staff. So I know we have some vets in the group, right? Yeah. And vet techs, yeah. And for trainers as well, and also for dog owners and people who work in rescues and shelters. How do we get people motivated to muzzle train their dogs? And how do we help overcome the stigma? Because a lot of times one of the biggest barriers to muzzle training is the stigma that's attached to it. For very good reasons, there's stigma attached to it. And so we'll talk about that. And then finally, at the end, we'll wrap up and we'll talk about the Muzzle Up online, which is something that I've started with the Muzzle Up project, and the Veterinary Partners program that we're going to be launching hopefully in January if everything goes to plan. So we'll talk about that as well. Better body handling. So one of the somewhat cruel ironies of muzzle training is that a lot of the dogs that need to be muzzle trained have various handling sensitivities. They don't like people looming over them, reaching for them, touching their head or touching parts of their body. And then of course we as trainers say, okay, well here, muzzle train your dog, and so put this big plastic thing on your dog that requires you to touch his head all over the place and do lots of handling. So it's a bit of a cruel irony in that sense. But yes, there is a lot of co-occurrence of handling sensitivity with a lot of clients whose dogs need muzzle training. What I have found is that clients of mine report improvement in the handling once they've completed the muzzle training program. And one of the reasons is because, first of all, owners are going to improve their skills of watching for when their dogs are comfortable and when they're not comfortable. So they become very good. Like one of my goals as a trainer is to make sure that clients become really good at reading their dog's body language, because I can't be there. Hopefully not, 24 hours a day. They're going to be interacting with their dogs the most. So I want the clients to be able to really have those skills to read, is my dog comfortable? Is my dog into this? Am I pushing ahead too far? And so that bleeds, again, into other interactions they have with the dog. They really start to have a conversation with their dog and to really understand how the dog is communicating to them through body language. And so when you get splitty, another Bob Bailey quote here, when a dog is shy, be a splitter, not a lumper, okay? And so what this means, in dog training, you can be a lumper, which means you can lump several steps together, or you can split them apart. And so a lumper would probably be, I got my dog, he can lure his head through the muzzle, and now I'm going to put on the straps first try. Some dogs are okay with that, right? Some dogs, no problem. They can deal with that. They can lump things together. But shy dogs, fearful dogs, lots of dogs that have to wear muzzles, you need to split and you need to go slowly to make sure that they realize that this situation is safe. And so what you do is you define the parameters. So for the straps, does Slim want to come up again? Slim? Up, up, up. This way. Yeah, good boy. Okay, so we can do a little bit of a demo with Slim, but when you think about parameters, okay, what we're thinking about, thanks, Mom. Slim, up, up, up. Here we go. Okay, so when we think about parameters and we're doing the straps, yeah, so that was very light pressure, okay? And Slim keeps wanting more croissant. So we'll try the croissant. Good boy. Okay. So it's the amount of pressure, because of course, oh, that's nice. A fully buckled strap is going to be more pressure over the neck than a loosely buckled strap, versus a strap that has no, a non-buckled strap. And so this could be where you start with a dog, just gradually putting the strap over. You can also start with, and again, Slim isn't afraid of the straps, but we're just using him as a demo to show how you can work through this with a dog. There we go. And again, we put the food in here, and then maybe, you pull the strap a little tighter. There